they lost their minds over a trailer. Did you hear what I just said? Did you catch that? Let me say it again. They, the usual suspects, lost their minds over a trailer. Not episode 1 of The Bride of Charlie, not episode 2, The Reckoning, but a trailer. This is how good Candace is. The trailer. I think I've said this enough, but I don't think, because I'm not telling you this for you, I'm telling you this for me. Imagine in the annals of film, documentary otherwise, the trailer killed them. I was watching today the special on The Exorcist. And The Exorcist came out December 26, 1973. And I remember when I was in high school, and I mean, everybody went crazy over this. But they had to see the movie. The trailer didn't scare them. The movie did. And the people, the people who, the usual suspects, who are on some kind of payroll, I respectfully submit, were almost handed out, okay, make sure that when you repeat your excoriation over the trailer, did I mention it was a trailer? And the trailer's nothing. I mean, don't get me, I love Candace to death, love the story, but the trailer is what she's already been, what everybody said. It's kind of like subject matter in general. It's really nothing. It's like a condensed version of everything that anybody's ever said about her. Okay? It's the trailer. It's not even the... And I'm going to say something right now which I noticed. I don't know if you saw this. I mean, this is really tough. You know, once you recognize this regarding Erica, then you just keep noticing it all the time. Did you happen to catch a State of the Union when she sat next to, I believe, the mother of that poor young, was a Ukrainian girl, I believe, on this bus or this local, who was stabbed by that animal, and the mother was just, I mean, crying like I've never seen before. And next to her is Erica. And Erica did her usual thing. And I know people are going to, I know, terrible, get it out here. You know what, just give me like a sign, a number value for each of the words, and you could just hold up a finger, you know, despicable, horrible, terrible. It's over with. We've already habituated to the whole thing. But it was almost like Erica was looking and saying, so that's what real, legitimate, non-synthetic grief looks like. Oh, watch it again. You're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to think I'm crazy. Won't be the first time. Won't be the last time. But I know what I'm talking about. Watch it. You know, sometimes there are people who, years ago, when folks talked about Asperger's and certain spectrum disorders, people had a hard time, those who suffered it had a hard time knowing how to phrase and how to present certain emotions, whether it was happiness or sadness or whatever the particular thing was. They didn't know how to do it, so they would sometimes go to movies and to see how people reacted. This was almost like, this is what real grief looks like. See, because we've seen this before. We've seen this. And I want you to understand something. when you live, I've told you this before, when you've lived long enough and you've just met enough people and you've been in enough situations, you've been to enough funerals or enough courtroom cases or enough instances of life where you've seen every version of felicity or indifference or morose, maudlin, funereal, lacrimation, whatever you want to call it. Over a period of time, when people are acting not in sync with what you expect. That's what this is. Just watch that. Watch her at the State of the Union. And also, when you start seeing how formulaic the now here I am, I'm going to do my thing, I'm going to look, and I'm not suggesting that there is no feeling of sadness. Nobody's doing it. I'm not. But what you do is there's a certain degree of embellishment, performance accentuated, formulaic, making sure this thing works. Look up. Sounds crazy. When you have done theater work or acting, and you have a particular combination of looks or emotions that work with an audience, you will repeat it. And there's one thing that Erica has been, by virtue of looking at her reels, she's experienced in the performance-related aspects of things. She knows how to react, how to act, how to do this. So, again, I'm spending a lot of time here because I, believe it or not, I'm doing it for me because I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe it. I can't believe any of this. And what I really can't believe is, did I mention it was a trailer? Maybe I missed that. Nothing was said. And my inclusion in the trailer regarding, I thought, her reference to merch was just that. A sense of merch. Candace said it best when she was comparing and contrasting Erica's reaction to, and by the way, there's many aspects to, many chapters to the various, dare I say, collective indictments of Erica. There's perhaps her TPUSA duties, some misleading, perhaps misrepresentation as far as her past. It depends. My sole area of discussion has always been her reaction to death, to the assassination itself. That's the only thing. Everything else you can argue. I don't really get into. I mean, inter-organizational. I don't know about their finances or whether they have a PO box at a mailboxes, etc. I don't know anything about that. But this is different, and this has always been this sense of you're not real, you're not acting real. Now, let's go back to this one, this next area. Did I mention it was a trailer? I say this partly in jest. Somebody said to people, now I don't know who's paying off people. I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't know how people are being somehow compensated. Maybe they're compensated by virtue of upticks in their video numbers. I don't know. But all I know is the compensation is either in kind or tangible or monetary, but it's something. And as part of that, everybody is told to say the same lines, the same outrage, but they did it too early. It would be as though I hired people to stand up in a movie theater or in a Broadway house, in the theater, and to stand up and storm out and say, this is disgusting, this is blasphemous. And let's say they got their signals crossed and did it 30 seconds into the beginning of the play and not after intermission where the pivotal moment is coming. That's what this was. They couldn't wait to get out the indictments of Candace, the execrations, the screaming, the yelling, the accusations of everything you can imagine. And Ben Shapiro, he's just run out of gas. How about that thing he put up? His retort, his riposte, his indictment of Candace was mispronunciation of words? That's it? I mean, there's the barrel, and there's the bottom of the barrel, and then there's the portion below the bottom of the barrel. There was nothing. He's scraping nothing. This is the same organization who took old Candace, you know this routine, old Candace clips or whatever, and they repackage them. I mean, they don't even have enough class to recognize that they're looking like fools. Now, the next point, I hope you're keeping track of the points. What is this, number 5? I have no idea. As you know, you could not have handled, well, let me rephrase it. You could not have handed Candace anything better in terms of a reaction than this. Did I mention it was a trailer? Imagine what the documentary is going to be. They're going to come apart at the seams. They're going to have the virtual conniption, whatever the hell a conniption is. They're going to go berserk. This is the trailer. They never said anything. They just listen to what other people have said, and they went into detail. This was the book and the cover. Nothing. Anyway, if you really wanted to scare her, if you really wanted to get Candace, I mean, if you really, whoever the paymasters were or are, they would say, here's the deal. Not a word, not a tweet, not a reference in any videos to anything on Candace's part regarding this new venture. Not a word, not a sentence, not a reaction, nothing. A big and Candace would freak out, and understandably so. Imagine that. The trailer drops, nothing. It would be so devastating to anyone. To anyone. But they can't do that. They can't do that because they don't have the organizational discipline to do it. They don't have the maturity, meaning they don't really know how to get this thing done because their own feelings, and I have said this at the beginning, I know this is a bit base, this may sound a bit rather juvenescent, a bit puerile, but what motivates them probably more than anything else is their profound and immane jealousy. They are jealous beyond anything that you can put into words. She is, and I've told you this before, Joe Rogan may be the most popular in terms of numbers, but the most powerful person today is Candace, with a close second, of Tucker. He's on fire. These two, and the difference between popular and powerful is that popular is, you like me. Powerful says, I can get 1 million people to vote this way. I can get something shut down when I just say the words and they come in. It's just that simple. This is how big she is. Moreover, and she has she knows her wrestling, and I'm not saying that demeaning. That's the greatest emotional theater there is. She knows exactly how to play the baby face and the heel. She knows how to bring heat. She knows it all. She knows it all in a rudimentary sense. Waiting, the delay. Oh, these delays are so smart. I mean, when she says, my family and I are going to take a few days off, people don't know what to do. It's like you just cut off their heroin. What are you doing? What do you mean you're going to cut? What? There are people in the afternoon. It's the most important. She is an industry in and of herself. She fuels everything. She steps on the anthill. I'm from Florida. We had these fire anthills, not Florida. That's where you vacation. I'm from Florida. We had these fire anthills, see? And if you stepped on them, those bastards would be running around. You'd be like, argh. And that's what she does. She steps on this, and just, my God, the people who support her, people who hate her, the people who like her, and the people who take all of her shows, clip them, cut them, repackage them, and then repackage and cut the people who talk about the shows, repackaged and cut, and it just keeps. It's like a Mandelbrot fractal. You keep going in, and you zero in, and there's another angle to it. I've seen this before. There's no end. Now, the part which is, again, this I'm think I've covered this the parts of this, but this reaction to her. It is so ill-conceived, so poorly run, that the way I would handle it, again, nobody asked me. Like the great Jimmy Cannon would say, nobody asked me, but I would say, I want you to do me a favor. If you want to get Candace, if you really, and this is a prosecutor to somebody, and by the way, Candace has the intuition of a natural prosecutor. The way she presents her case, a trial lawyer really, the way she presents her case, and she has the evidence, it's phenomenal. Anyway, what I would say is, I don't want anybody to use the word hateful, despicable, terrible, awful, terrible, like Ben Shapiro, you're despicable, and we've heard this. We've habituated to it. We've become accustomed to it. We're used to these words. It doesn't mean anything. But I would say, well, Candace, you're wrong. Here, and here. This didn't happen. You got this quote wrong. You misunderstood this. That would bother her more than you hate her, or she's a poopy pants, or that doesn't mean anything to her. But if you told her you're wrong, because she's thorough, you can tell she spent a lot of time wanting to present a thorough list, a litany, kind of like an allocution, so to speak. This kind of a synthesis, an adumbration of what it is that she's doing. That's what would get her attention. But they don't do that because there's nothing that she's saying that's wrong. What does that tell you? Let me say that again. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. You see, if somebody says something, if somebody comes out in front of a crowd, their pants fall down, people start laughing, and the person runs off the stage in humiliation, and then you report what happened, they can tell you, you despicable person, you awful, hateful, terrible person. But they can't tell you it never happened. If somebody were to tell you that, that would make you basically a liar. But you're saying, no, I'm telling you what happened. Your reaction to it is up to you. I'm not even mocking this. I'm telling you, this is what happened. Guy's pants fell down. People laughed. I'm sorry. That's what happened. Erica did this. Erica did this. She said this. 6 days after the murder, she does some kind of apparently, I think it's 6 days. She does some kind of an in-house, I don't know what the hell it is, some Zoom or something, and she comes up with this giddy hey guys thing with the whole merch thing. I didn't make that up. That happened. Now if you think I'm lying, tell me, but I'm not lying. I didn't make that up. It happened. It's real. It happened. See, this is the part. This is the part I'm saying. This is, she's not lying. Everything she said, the whole. I thought to myself, the fort Huachuca thing, I said, oh, they're not going to fall for this. When I mean fall for it, they're going to say, nope, no. They fought over everything. They're so bad when they got this Mitch Snow, whatever, his son, or the estranged son who validates what it is Candace is saying. You can't write this stuff. I mean, what are they doing? There's an expression, they step on their dicks. It's clumsy, it's ill-conceived, it's demented, it's not thorough. I don't understand what she's doing. I don't understand, or what they're doing, rather. So, let's stop for just a second. And I think this is amazing. Did I mention this was just the trailer? Do you understand why that's such a big deal? The trailer is never the story. The trailer is what makes you want to go see the story. The trailer is what is the lure. The trailer, the coming attractions, is just enough where things are left out, where critical information is left out, where critical information is expurgated, so to speak, or Baudelarized, or removed and emended from it. There's nothing there. It's just like coming up. Oh yeah, it's like a blind. You know, when somebody says, "Well, what recent widow of a certain evangelical political organization is making time with?" That's kind of what a trailer is. That's the tease. That's the blind gossip, where you don't really say it. You just kind of ask it. You're asking, who would that be? And that's what this is. That's not the stuff that makes people crazy. But these folks were so interested to earn their keep, earn their pay, or satisfy their paymaster, or whatever it was, that they jumped the gun. Again, it's the analogy of claiming to be objecting to something before the event even happened. You jumped the gun. It happened later. You were prescient and vatic. You were pythonic. You read the entrails of the beast. You augured the future. No, you got to wait. Nobody gets upset over a trailer. I mean, I've never, years ago, seriously, I wanted to do as a joke. I wanted to be a movie reviewer where I never went to the movie. I just looked at the trailers. And I came up with very, very, very intricate, depictions and votes and appraisals and ratings of the movie based upon the trailer, which I thought would be absurd. And when asked, well, why don't you go see the movie? Well, I didn't have time, and the movies are expensive, and the trailer they sent me. I thought it was a joke. I thought, wouldn't that be something to basically base your whole opinion on a trailer? Well, that's what this was. Now, Ben Shapiro is supposed to be the smartest guy in the world, right? Ben Shapiro is supposed to be a genius. All these people are Ivy League, this, fine. But these schmucks actually went. They I mean, I hope he gets enough anxiolytics or Valium on hand, because when he sees the real episode 1, he's going to come apart at the seams. I mean, if he goes this batshit crazy over a trailer, okay, this has gone off the charts. And what happens is that she doesn't understand kind of where she is in this whole thing. And she should have, she was in some kind of exile, which I thought was smart for her. And would you please just take care of your kids? I'm sure she is. I mean, I have no reason. I don't know anything about her family. I don't know anything about anything. Because Charlie was pretty sincere and pretty straightforward about how he believes that a woman's place is taking care of her kids and that sort of thing. Might be antediluvian to some people, but still that's what he believed in. My friends, what we are seeing right now is something that I have never seen before. I mean, I have never, ever, ever seen the anticipation of an event being so enticing, so almost emotionally sexual or something, where people just so crave this that they jumped the gun. They just said, hell, why do we have to wait? Let's open up our presents now. Come on, let's open it up. Let's just react. And when you go through and read, again, the list that other people put together about what they've said about Candace, it's incredible. So the bottom line, I think, and I've mentioned many bottom lines, is this is something, this is a gift they handed to Candace. They handed her. She will be who she is, even bigger, better, badder than ever, by virtue of not her acolytes, not me, not you, but her enemies. That's what got the impact. She's the heel to them. She's the baby face to us. And what we are seeing right now is incredible. Now, as you know, I can't speak for everybody else. I have no hate, no animosity, no antipathy towards this person known as Erica Kirk. I don't know her. The public figure, the TPUSA general or practitioner or Puba, Pate, Prowler, whatever you want to call it, that person is one of the most PR clumsy that I've ever seen. And not only that, does a lot to besmirch, I think, and belittle the image and the memory and the message of a really important person. So, my friends, I thank you. I'm going to be watching today when the piece drops. I'm going to be talking about that then and dissecting it, I think, carefully, I hope, with your assistance and the like. One of these days, what was that line that Apocalypse Now, Robert Duvall, one of these days, the war is going to be over. One of these days, people are going to have enough of this. And what we're seeing right now will have gone away. I see two groups of people. I see those of us who, myself included, who are just absolutely nonplussed, gobsmacked, who over the fact, over the how clumsily this has been played, and how Erica just has had no sense of the way she looks, optics, nothing. Fine. And the other group of people have no interest in what Candace is saying, that whether it's true or not. It's just ad hominem against her. I've never heard anybody say, well, that's not right. That's not right. That didn't happen. That is not Erica on that Zoom movie. That's not, you got the wrong person. No, you're never going to hear that. It's just we hate her. And they hate her so much. They all have the same words, almost in the same order. It's like if I'm sure you've seen this. There's a famous, was a Sinclair TV where they all said the same thing. And you saw one 6 o'clock news and another one. And next thing you know, everybody said the same thing in unison. That's what that was. It was choreographed. It was performative. It was like some kabuki theater. But it was never about her being wrong. It was about her being Candace. They never said she was wrong. They never said she once made a mistake. Never. And remember, they brought this on themselves. They went after her. And they had their proxies and their agents provocateurs and all of their agents and their military types out there in the field, their guerrillas, basically acting, their accomplices, acting in unison. And this was all their fault. I've told you this once, I'm going to tell you again. The movie Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise, it was actually better than the oafish person. But Tom Cruise Jack Reacher as Tom Cruise is about to just destroy somebody. I mean, really hurt this guy bad in a fight, because the guy wants to fight him, and Tom Cruise takes him outside and says, yeah, he's going to basically crush his testicles and kill him. But right before he commences the fight, and right before he, in essence, is about to cripple this man permanently, if not kill him, Tom Cruise turns to him and says, now remember, you wanted this. So what Candace should always say to everybody else, the TPUSA and Erica, remember, you wanted this. You came after me. And now they're going after her husband. And now some people, I think, are rather wildly suggesting she's responsible for his demise. Be very careful. Be very careful. Very careful. When there's a big difference between you reacting to something and you telling how you feel particularly individually, and then alleging that somebody was involved in something as heinous and despicable as that. My friend, thank you for this. Please, thank you for your very kind words. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your words. Thank you for following me. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for this. I've got some questions for you to peruse and to review and to think. And also, I want you to make sure you like the video. I know that sounds, you know how this thing works. That's the metrics that put us in the HOV lane or whatever it is. So thank you for this. I will be responding, as you can imagine, after the actual episode drops. Not just, did I mention it was the trailer? After the big one drops. Have a great day, my friend. Keep up the good fight. And now comment as you see fit.